All right, good morning, guys and girls. You'll see now the microphone seems like it's loud. It's one of these things. It's like trying to get it adjusted just perfect is such a pain. All right, so let's get started. Sorry, I'm a couple minutes late today. Princess decided that she didn't want the chocolate milk I picked out for her. She wanted the chocolate milk that thank you. She wanted a different chocolate milk. So you know how it is. You got to pick your own chocolate milks when you're 2 years old and, very opinionated. So I'm in so much trouble when she is a teenager. All right, so let's look and see what we have over here. Remember, Scanner is no longer in this. No, go. Now the dog is playing with squirrels. So, yeah, there's my morning. Kids and squirrels. So, Lots of pound movement this morning already. Pound is just getting hammered. And again, looking at this, you guys can see that, again, a lot of pound news this morning. Votes are in. Nothing changed. Obviously, there's a few things going on, right, with the pound. Dropping it over here, you can see, all of this election result may never be accurately determined. Yeah, probably. That's probably true. But the monetary policy summary right here is kind of really what's setting things off. Bank of England sees recovery signs, but studies sub-zero rates. I'm telling you, I keep mentioning that the new norm is going to be low, and this is kind of what we're seeing. Well, this is kind of, again, everybody's looking at it to see, what does that look like? And again, it's not like it's anything new. I mean, Japan has been doing it forever, right? And it's not like it's really helped Japan's economy. But, I mean, they basically had like a decade of just lost. It was just lost because of these negative interest rates. So it's one of those things. It's not new. People have done it. But now everybody's looking at it because they're realizing, like, wait a second. You mean if we have these zero interest rates and we keep it like super, super cheap, that means our exports will be much, much better? So everybody's kind of thinking on that level. I love this too. One lucky Australian wins entire $60 million Powerball, and he will probably blow it in 2 years. I think the statistic is like within 1 year, most people have lost everything they've won or something like that. In Australia, God knows what they do with it. Anyway, that's been the big mover, but also you can see the euro dollar. And it's weird. You can't really say, I mean, I guess for the most part, yeah, we see a little bit of dollar strength coming back in. And this has been kind of the story, right? Weekend, we have dollar weakness. And then later in the week, we go back to dollar strength. And then we go into the week, and then we go back into the weakness over, Saturday and Sunday. And again, you can see euro dollar is down, pound dollar, again, down here, but also over on this side, 134. So again, it is definitely a pound story as well. Dollar yen down just slightly. Dollar Swiss up 40, not bad. Dollar CAD up 40, not bad. Dollar, Aussie dollar down 40 again. Dollar strength, dollar strength, dollar strength, basically flat. Dollar strength, dollar strength. Okay. Now euro pound is up about 22. So again, not too much in there. After the movement we've had in the last couple of days in the pound, again, impulse, correction are the two phases of the market. So again, we need it to kind of come back before it can drive more. So not necessarily surprised. Interesting thing too today, we have these OPEC meetings right here. I don't think it's necessarily as big of a deal. And so far, we had the unemployment being higher. And I mentioned yesterday, I expected this number to be higher. I didn't expect there to be an upward revision here, but I did expect this one to be a bit higher. In all honesty, I actually thought we would get really, really close to the 900. So it's a little bit less than what I thought. But I did think we were going to be above the 825. I didn't think there was any way that was where we were going to move to. All right. And also the CAD unemployment number. Again, there was a downward revision as well as, again, still losing jobs in Canada. Not really a good thing when we're kind of coming out on the side, on the back end of this whole kind of crisis. Now, I will say too, Canada has not necessarily been affected as much by COVID. Talking to, family members, not my family, like not direct family, but my wife's family still lives in Vancouver, and her cousin and things like that is in the medical field, and they just haven't seen the same type of stuff that we have. So again, I wouldn't say that it is as crippling, but part of the reason is, basically there's two cities that have all the people in them, and then there's a whole lot of space in between. Right. If you look at our biggest cities, Vancouver versus New York, it doesn't even compare, right, with the amount of people. And it's not the same type of high-rise city, and it's twice as big. And even Toronto. Toronto is a very, very big city. Nothing really compared to New York, but it is so spread out. Like it's just, they just don't have the high-rises, and there's just not all those people on top of each other. It's a bit different. And it's like probably the cleanest cities I've ever been to. Like, they don't have garbage in Toronto. I don't know if you guys have ever been there, but there's just no garbage. Like, walk through New York City, and every alley is just loaded with garbage. You just throw it out in the streets, and then you pick it up. Toronto doesn't have garbage. It's weird. You go up there, you're like, this is the cleanest big city ever. But again, so them losing jobs is not necessarily the greatest thing in the world for the Canadian dollar. And again, that's probably why we're seeing this up 43 right now. And it kind of goes along with what the dollar is also doing versus other pairs. So it could really be much, much worse for them. But again, at the same time, we have the negativity coming in here. So it's negative, but yet this one is up a little bit. So we're seeing a little dollar strength. Okay. All right. So as far as the latest news goes, this actually just popped. EU sets out new attempt to deepen capital market. We'll see. Nothing big. Yeah, I love this one too. BV. I got it. BV. And that's it. Lottery. So not even very much news today. We are pretty much done for news for the day. The only thing we can get is some OPEC information, right? And I don't know. I mean, how much is this really going to really move? I don't know. I mean, it's kind of like, here's, OPEC members and then, the other 11 oil-rich nations. I don't know. I think this is like I don't know. Do you guys ever, many of us are pretty much all of us at this point, right? We're all out of high school, but do you know that one guy that like is in college and is still wearing like his high school letters jacket and, still goes to all the football games even though he doesn't have a kid? That guy, I feel like that's what OPEC is at this point. It's the person from high school that thought they were the coolest, and now that we're out, still thinks that they're in high school and that they're the coolest. I have a couple of them from my high school. One of the biggest football bullies still lives there and works for a moving. Doesn't own, but he works for a moving truck company now. Has never left the city or never left the town. Still lives there. Biggest bully on the football team. Go back and you're like, wow. They thought they were the coolest because they were at the time. Well, I don't know if they were. They thought they were, but I don't know. I mean, how do you define cool in high school, right? Is it because you have the most friends? Like in my school, it was like, oh, football. But it was like, I don't know. I mean, I guess, sure. Sounds like Sean, right? Somewhere just douchebags. Yeah. Michigan used to have garbage contracts with Canada for them to dump here. Not sure if they still do. Yeah, I think, Sean, actually, I do remember that. My wife, my first wife, from Traverse, she was from Traverse City, and that's what she said as well. So, as far as news goes today, we don't really have much more. Again, we're done. We'll be at the whim of the media, right? The whim of the media. And then tomorrow morning, you can see early morning. This is going to be an interesting number. I probably won't be up for it. It's 2 a.m. But retail sales tomorrow, as much movement as the pound has had in this entire week, this retail sales number could be an interesting kind of play for any of you guys that are West Coast or my Texas guys that love to stay up till midnight and beyond because you don't sleep. Again, this could be a very interesting kind of setup for morning time. And then tomorrow morning, retail sales and then leading index for us at 10. So there will be two different CAD trades tomorrow. I guess one CAD trade, $1 trade tomorrow. And that, preliminary University of Michigan consumer sentiment is always an interesting number. It's supposed to be higher. Supposed to be. So what a way to lead into the weekend, getting some negative numbers. And again, the CB leading index is also supposed to be slightly below, but I don't think it'll be that much of a miss. So again, today will probably be our last major trading day unless anything kind of crazy happens in the next 24 hours. All right, let's go over to charts, and hopefully all the mics work on this one. I know when I was clicking it. Oh, hold on. Let me, let's see. Let me delete this. Add source. I'm telling you, like every time I say, like I'm working on, I get like one step farther into changing the streaming software. I swear to God, this software knows, and it has to like disconnect something. I thought I changed it all, but anti-bully jocks are usually. I'm anti-bully. Jocks are usually all bullies. No, that's not true. I don't know about that, Sean. I mean, some are, sure. We'll put it this way. The qualities, at least on a physical level, that you need to be a bully, typically also are the ones that you need for athletics. Like if you were 98 pounds dripping wet in your high school year and you're a computer science major, you probably are not intimidating enough. Maybe you're a cyber bully. I mean, cyber bullies come in all sizes, right? But if you're an athlete, you probably have the physical prowess to be a bully. But again, I don't know many people that are starting quarterbacks that are cyber bullies, right? They'll just go up and beat you. Now, with that being said, my daughter, who is going to be small, obviously she's half Asian. She's very tiny. I feel like she's going to be, my wife's only like 101 pounds. I mean, she's not very big. I have a feeling that my daughter, with like the, as dominant as she is right now and as demanding as she is right now, I feel like she's going to, in high school, she's going to be like a 65, 75 pound bully. She's going to be the leader of like that movie, what was it, Clueless or the Mean Girls Club or something? I feel like that's going to be my daughter already. She'll have learned it from her brother. All right, Aussie dollar. So Aussie dollar's got 43 pips of movement based off of where we were yesterday. So we're sitting here right now, right? This is 9 o'clock window. When we look back, we were sitting right here, right? So a little bit of movement. We ended up going down and tagging this. It was a tested zone. Let me bring this across. You guys can see here. It was a tested zone before. It ended up dinging this right around midnight, right? Again, not a time that I would have been awake to grab this one. Yesterday, we were looking for this to kind of rally up with the news, and we didn't, really. I mean, it went the opposite direction. I mean, it came in right, let's see, right here, right? We're kind of sitting at this 73.33 level. And then FOMC just drove it right back down to that level. So it was technically there. We mentioned it that, this is a level that we needed to watch out for. We were hoping we'd go higher or spike higher, but we didn't. And I mentioned yesterday by taking Nadex, we could have put in a limited risk trade here. Well, it gave it to you. I mean, it gave us a drop of about 75 pips off of that off of that zone. So again, zone held. We never got the pop that we were looking to get that cleaner entry. So again, at this point, it was really a news breakout trade to the downside. Where we are now, I mean, we're kind of floating right in the middle of these two ranges, right? If we use this, and again, here, I'll extend this across, right? If I extend this across that line, oops, not that. I'll delete this top one right now because we're not close. Oh no, that was fine. Right? You can see if we take this area here, right? Again, this is an area that buyers have stepped in here and stepped in here, so we have to respect it. We're kind of sitting in the middle of that range. I like this zone much, much better. I think 7204 is a much better level than the way this one formed. But even so, if we're taking this, this 73, yeah. Yes, they're playing. If we take 73.33 and 72.04, I think that gives us a top and bottom bracket. Again, for some type of a 10 o'clock reversal, or even a London Open, or even the Australian Open, right? It could be this smaller level here, but right now we're kind of middle of range. It's not super exciting right now. I'm kind of hoping we continue to drive down. We need about 20-25 pips. It may be worth something small if we can get kind of a confirmation bounce off of this one. And again, guys, here's the touch, the pullback, and again, this did actually give us the same type of confirmation bounce off of that, right? And again, it's overlay here. I'm not cheating. There's the overlay. Here's your touch. Here's your bounce. There's your pullback, and there's your higher. So again, gives us numerous opportunities to be able to do that. If we can get that, maybe if it's like 1 o'clock, I would be interested in taking that. Get like a late afternoon rally, but right now it's like, not tons on that one. All right, so we were looking for the pop up here, and you guys can see we didn't make it up. We were looking for a pop, a hit, and drop, and it literally just kind of went sideways and continued to push back down again. We mentioned before that this zone probably was done, and again, it's kind of what we're looking for right now. No, I want the other thing. That's fine. Whatever. Remove these. Pull this off. Right there. Okay. So we wanted this to go high. We did not get our high. We're going to leave that there. All right. So next level of true demand is coming in down here. You can see on a 4-hour basis, it's not till this level here. And it looks like on an hourly, let's go back and see if we can refine any of these levels. We had that Harry Potter in there. I don't think we've hit it yet. No, not yet. We're going to pull this one. Yes, that's it. Yes. Really, that's the right level. All right, let me see where that is. So Aussie yen, we're getting pretty close to where, again, buyers should be stepping into this market. You can see the light green line right here. You know what? Let me change this to yellow so you guys can see it a little bit better. Here, we could be getting a bounce anywhere in here. And again, this could also kind of coincide with the market opening today. So we only need about 13 pips. I would say this one is more set up for long than anything else. If we can get a bounce off of this lower level. And again, the level could come in at the yellow, or it could come in at the green. So there's really kind of two different areas. It's going to depend on your risk tolerance. And we got about 12 minutes, 11 pips to the downside. I mean, it can definitely move that. But I want to see what the initial kind of response is. And like I said, I'd like to get some type of a bounce down here. And there's a few levels. I mean, we got the small one starting at the yellow line. We have an hourly starting here. We have the 4-hour starting right here, and then we have a larger level. So there are so many levels right before right where we are. I feel like we need to get a good kind of bounce and then a retrace back up again before we can take a position in this one. Ideally, it's kind of moving back down, but not really Not really the ideal situation. And again, on the 4 hour, you can see we're not super clean until 75, 73. Okay. I can remove that. Just put that over there. Delete. You can see that the last time the price actually touched this level right here, we had a bounce. So actually, maybe it's 75, 85 is what we're looking for a bounce off of. And again, that would be a 4 hour bearish trade. Continuing to push down, coming from the middle of the curve back down to the low. We'd be looking to take a pop out of this one and bounce higher. Okay. All right. Looking at Euro yen. All right. So Euro yen. All right. So we had a level down here. We were looking for kind of a spike in for FOMC. Right. So here's our 9 o'clock. Yesterday we were sitting right here. Okay. Right here. This one ended up giving us kind of a punch through and not really a clean Harry Potter to the downside, right? So we were waiting for the spike, looking for some type of a confirmation off this level and push back up. We didn't get it, right? We didn't get what we were looking for. Now, we did on the 30-minute, we did have a Harry Potter that ended up punching through. It based in one candle, came back up and grabbed it and punched lower. I thought that's what we had set up on this one. Either way, again, we had the white level marked off. It again was an hourly level. You can see we dropped down, we based, we pulled back, we touched it, and now we're kind of sitting it down in this hourly level. So again, bunch of things down here. Whoops. Oh, I killed my time frame. Where is it? Where is it? Toolbars, time frames. All right. I was like, wait, why is it moving? I don't know if you guys know how to do that. You guys can move all these things around at the top, right? I was like, why is it moving? Don't do that. So here's where we are. Again, this is more of a Harry Potter down. We didn't get that move. I don't know. I mean, there are some levels here, but I don't really love any of those levels. Let me see here. What do we got for long? This one's all right. Kind of the same idea. Looking for this one down here. We can remove this. Let's put this here. Hold on. Error properties. It's funny, on some charts it shows up. Other charts it does not. It's funny. It pops in front of things sometimes it doesn't. Anyway, 132.03 is where I'd be looking for a bounce off of this one. We got about 40 pips. So this is going to be about a 2 hour, 3 hour run to the downside. This could be more of a noon setup for this one. And I'd be looking for a bounce off of this level here. Okay. Again, it's kind of the same idea. We were sitting in the middle of the curve, top and bottom, and now we're pushing into the bottom side. So we're looking for somewhere in an area to go long. And as you can see, the daily zone kicks in around this 123.03. Okay, so kind of using larger time frames, but unfortunately, I really don't have too much on the smaller time frames sitting there. Really, it's this hourly level here that we are looking at to go higher. Okay, this one we can remove. If you're not short already on that one, it's too late. Okay, so that's what we got. Let's go to pound yen. So look at this guy. Pound yen. All right. We had a level sitting here, and we marked this off here that had been touched before. This level just got hammered, right? Hammered through. I mean, basically in 1 4 hour window. As you can see, really it's happened in the last 2 hours, and a lot of this has to do with that the BOV statement that we saw, talking about this one right here, studying 0% interest rates. Interest rates are what gives currency strength. When you are managing and looking at negative interest rates, that gives you weakness. Well, there's your weakness right there. Okay. There's your hammering this thing through the bottom side. So really at this point, I'm looking for this to come a bit lower. Probably, you know what, let's just delete some of these, clean this up. I'm going to go down and look, we're going to look at some lower levels here. Let's see. Let's put this right there. Delete this. All right. Let's see. Yeah, so I don't know if you guys can see this, but there's a 4 hour level here. Then there's this piece here, and then there's this piece here. So there's like 3 in a row. Let me go back and see if I can see. Yeah, I'm going to use that one. All right. That gives us, it's a lot of pips. It was more than I thought it was going to be. All right, so there's two levels sitting here, right? There are two levels sitting here. This white one, let's see, we have 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think we'll use the bottom one. Yeah, we'll use the bottom one. That one's been hit 3 times. I don't know if we'll get a hold off that one. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to drop this down. We're going to bring the yellow down to this level. And again, it's already marked off on the other side. You guys can see it on that end. Let's delete that. Let's delete this. Let's bring this down to here. All right, go across, and we are looking for bounces off that lower level. All right, let's delete this. Let's pull this in. Something along those lines. Okay. There to there. Right there. Okay. That level is coming in at approximately 133.92. And again, very low on the curve using 4-hour levels. Again, profit target is kind of right where we're seeing a level of basing right now, so we may have to be very cautious about that one. But I'm looking for some type of a pullback. I do think price will rally back up into this 35.76 area. Reason why is because, again, this spike down was an emotional response. It's just what level will it grab to the downside? With the U.S. economy opening up, with the pound, with the yen, I feel like we may get a little bit more of a push down. I would be surprised if this is exactly the bottom. But again, there may be the retracement may be coming in here rather soon if we cannot, if this starts to push higher at the open, right? But ideally, that's what we're looking for is kind of a turnaround. And again, a little bit of hiccup here. I think it will retrace back up to the 135.76 pound. All right, so here's what we got for the pound. We had this one set up yesterday. We can drop this down. This was based off of hourly levels. All right, you guys can see that that's how close we were. We missed this one by, actually, I guess technically it should be there. This one got missed by 3 pips. Okay, so sitting here now, we were sitting right here yesterday. Right here yesterday. So there's your U.S. Open spike. There was the level we were looking for, and there was the end result. So all the targets got hit. We missed it by 3 pips, basically the spread on some brokerages. Maybe yours was able to give you the entry. I was not able to get the entry on this one. Again, had you used a knockout in that level or, when the binary's there, you did have the opportunity to get in. Most people would have waited, though, until we hit that 103.12. Unfortunately, we missed it. We got up to like 139.09 before it continued to collapse back down. And that was a pretty quick mover. I mean, this is, basically in 3 hours, we were able to continue to collapse all the way to the downside. Hold on one sec, guys. One sec. Can call you in 30. All right. Sorry. I have like 3 lacrosse parents messaging me. They're probably worried about this order we're doing. All right. So hopefully some of you guys got this one. I did not. This one left without me. It happens. It is what it is. It sucks. It was a great level, but we missed it by 3. Now, I kind of like to see this go a little bit lower. Now, there's a few areas here. We had a zone here that got broken. This is actually not a bad kind of bounce off of, and that's what it's kind of bouncing off of right now. I think if we go a little bit lower, I think that gives us a little bit better opportunity. And, there's a level here, right? And this level is not bad. You can see that price kind of bounced off of it once, and this was kind of a front run off of it. Ideally, and again, there is a bit of a gap over here as well. That was the weekend gap. So I'm thinking probably this is kind of what I'm looking for right now. And unfortunately, this is also one of those ones that's sitting kind of right in the middle, right? It's sitting right in the middle along those lines, right? Let's go here, turn this green. And again, very, very low on the curve, right? We've come from kind of the middle of the range. We had this big, nice hammering down, which again, we hammered down again from it, but pulling back into these lower levels is really what I'm looking for right now. On this lower time frame, though, we are smack in the middle, so I do want it to go down. I do want it to grab. Let me put some numbers here so you guys are able to see it a little bit better. This is coming down here at 128.10. And again, it's this red box I drew, or this red candle. The open gave us a gap down, a pull up, and then we kind of based inside of that gap. It did punch, it did retest that thing, and then continue to push higher. So again, do like everything I see in this one from that level. It's just we got a little bit of room to run on that one, about 60 pips. So it may not actually be a today trade. We'll see if this one rolls over. And even on the 30 minutes, there's not not too much. There's not a ton in there. Okay, to be able to grab onto. All right, so we'll leave that on the hourly. Looking at euro pound. All right, so euro pound right there. There's what we drew yesterday. As far as levels, I'll use the history tool, and you guys can see there was this level. We got really, really close, and again, a few hours ago, we ended up dinging off of it. Right there. Okay, and again, this is what we drew from yesterday. Right, we talked about going higher. There was the first trade, so we're sitting here right now. Yesterday, we were sitting right here. Right. Again, we had just completed this top side. Okay, so we will remove this now just to kind of clean it up just a bit. But there was your Harry Potter entry. Okay, there was your short. We'll remove this. And then here was our trade from this morning. Okay, this one kicked in 3 o'clock. Basically, European Open. I mentioned this yesterday, guys. European Open running into levels, especially a level that looks like this. Right? This was a huge taking off point. And look what it did. So again, hopefully you guys were able to take advantage of this one. This wasn't bad. Your 1 to 3 on that one was 44. Your 1 to 5 was up here at 70 pips. You're waking up, you're waking up no, you cannot have that. You're waking up in the morning with 77 pips in your pocket. You're feeling good, right? Coffee's going to taste a little bit better. The moonshine cap comes off a little faster for you Texas folk. So hopefully you were able to grab that, guys. At this point, I'd be looking for this thing to, again, pull up and rally a little bit more. Jin, come on. No. No, that's not candy. I have a cough drop on my desk, obviously because of the allergies still. And she sees them and she's like, oh, here, blueberries. Eat your blueberries. Not the cough drop. Problem is she's old enough where if I hide it somewhere, she knows where it is. All right, so I'm looking at this point, probably, again, Jen, you need to stop. This level right now. Again, hopefully you guys were able to grab this. We'll take that off now, and we'll flop it back to the top side. So at this point, we are looking for this level right here. And again, all we're doing, guys, is we're going from high on the curve to low on the curve. This was low on the curve, a large movement up, looking for the retrace. We finally overtook all this all the way down. And again, we had the Harry Potter based off of this basing level here. On the bottom side, we were looking for the same piece. Again, only reason price was able to move was because, again, buyers stepped in, and that's what caused it. We ran into those same buyers again. All right, so it can't be any more of can't be any more of a definition of what supply and demand really is, right? From that level, right? Why did they buy here? Because all their orders didn't get filled. There was unfilled orders. It came down and popped off of it. All right. So right now 91.93. All right. So this guy. We had a short. We were looking to get short in this position, and unfortunately, it based in there and dropped below. Never gave us the actual entry. So, it's one of those things. It sucks. Love when it happens. Didn't give us the entry. Didn't work out well. Went to the exact place that we wanted to go to. So it went all the way down. We have another little Harry Potter set up even lower, and we've just stabilized and based at this point. I'll bring it back up to the hourly. You can kind of see this one's got a lot of small little levels. It's a 4-hour zone that we have sitting here. So there's kind of all kinds of junk going on this one. I'd really like for this one really to go kind of one way or the other at this point, just to get out of this kind of basing here, right? I mean, here's your 4-hour. It just, up in here, up and down. It's like we keep going back and forth. It's like, great day up, great day down, great day up, great day down. But we really haven't left. I mean, it looks more like this. We've been in kind of the same range, top to bottom here, right? I still think there's a great short here if we can actually break this 1711. Hopefully this is the impulse and correction, and now we're starting the impulse move again to give us that entry. But right now it's kind of like, I mean, here's what we got. Since the European Open, you guys can see the pound went crazy. This has done nothing, right? It's really done nothing. So again, we're cheering for everybody, look for cheers of 1711 breaking to the downside. And again, you can set yourself an alert if you know how to do that, right? If you know how to set yourself an alert, put it right here. All right. So nothing on that. Dollar CAD. So dollar CAD, we had this level again, 1, 2, 3, and 4 was the breaker. Came back up, grabbed the 132.40. This is a level again. I'll draw it off of here. You guys see this pink box back there? There was your touch. Okay. Was it off the 30? Yeah, you can see it better here. It's this level, right? So you guys should be short this position. Oops, not there. I'll just do it off the hourly. Right there. And you are out. Okay. Again, this is another one of those overnight ones. 55 pips. So you're up to like 125 pips this morning already before you woke up. Well, not. I know most of you guys wake up early, but that's where we're at now. I continue to see some basing at this point. Again, this was a break. Unfortunately, I don't really love much of this to the downside. There is this level here where you got a nice kind of explosion off of, and it's kind of retracing off that now, but I don't really love it. I think I would still hold 132.40 and 131.06. Hopefully you guys got out of this trade before this thing spiked back up. I mean, right now we're just going to hold, guys. It's the same two trades, right? Same two trades. Right? Yeah, nothing really to say about that one. Again, it's there. Hopefully you made your profit and shorted it from yesterday. If it hits again, it's probably worth one more hit, but I'd be a bit cautious because we have one hit here, another hit here. This would be number 3. So just watch it a little bit more, right? Just be a little bit close. Remember, get to like 1.5 up to 1, 2 to 1. Make sure you move your stop loss to break even. Dollar Swiss. So we had this one level that we were looking for, right? Front run. We ended up touching and pushing away, which, yeah, here's where we are now. We were sitting right here yesterday. Right here, actually. Yesterday, right? I didn't get into this trade. I had this one triggered. I didn't get in. I missed it. I don't know if it was the spread that got me, but there it is off that level. Yeah. I mean, it was quick. 3-hour trade. I missed it. So hopefully one of you guys got this one. I don't know what I did with my entry on this one, but I looked down and I saw it on Daily FX, and I'm like, yep, there's a moneymaker. And then I came back. I'm like, why did this not trigger? Yeah, hopefully you guys had better luck than me. So it is what it is. It was that touch right there. Right now, again, you guys can see that there was this little kind of touch here. I'm trying to see, what would I do with this one? Unfortunately, because of that candle, this kind of whipped back and forth again. It kind of did mess up some of the analysis on this one. I don't think there's any 4 hours close. No, there's a big one down here. I mean, I don't know. I mean, as far as safe plays on this one, there are a couple small things in here. There's a little zone over in here as well, but I think a safe is going to be a breakup here of 91.82, and it would look something along. And again, this is not for today. I mean, this is I doubt we could get up there today. This is probably going to be more of a next week thing. Would be something along those lines. Right as that continues across. Downside, I don't really like much to go long in this position. There is a small little basing thing right here. Again, this one kind of got whipped out of there, but I don't really love kind of where this is. Oh God, even downside, there's not a clean level. Like this is clean, right? Huge movement out. There's not really the same type of scenario here, really until we get down to here. The 90.06. So, for me, I think top and bottom, this is still what we're looking for at this point. We had that one kind of hidden level that we took, or you should have taken. I tried to take it. It just didn't work for some reason. I'm not sure why. But kind of looking at that top and bottom, whether a short off of 91.82 or a long off of 90.06. Okay. Dollar yen. So dollar yen actually just popped out of that area. We're actually waiting for a pop a bit lower. We're kind of basing ahead of it. You can see we just entered into the 4 hour, and it's literally bouncing right off that 4 hour zone. I mean, it's a big zone. Remember, I talked about not wanting to take this entire zone, waiting for it to get smaller. 104.36 is still the entry that we are looking for. Again, this is not going to necessarily be a reversal at 10 o'clock, but again, looking for something along those lines. And again, I'll move this green line to talk about the actual trade setup itself, but remember that was the actual 4 hour zone itself. Looking for some type of a bounce off of that level at 104.36. NQ. All right. NQ. You can see right there. There's our level, right? These are levels that we have talked about for a while, and we had this one marked off down here, right? This 109.01. and dropping down to this lower level, you can see, and here I'll change this, horizontal properties, make it solid, we'll make it thicker so you can see it. Boom. Horizontal line properties, make it solid, and boom. There you go. Right there. Okay. The price being right there right now. All right. Did I make this any smaller on the 15-minute? I don't remember. I feel like we did look at this one yesterday when we marked this one off. Maybe we didn't. Not really. All right. Anyway, there would have been your trade off the open, or like a little bit pre-market hours. Oops. Right there. Okay. And that would have been that white level that we had marked off yesterday. Okay. Now, I don't know that this is going to be the greatest of trades today. I feel like this one will have some problems. Again, it has the initial bounce off the open. Typically, mutual funds doing what they're doing their buys at the open. With the unemployment the way that it is, the one thing that can help it is with unemployment being a little bit higher, it typically means that it's a guarantee that we're not going to raise interest rates for a little bit longer until these things are better. So it's not absolute certainty, but it's a lot more certainty that, hey, listen, they're going to continue to support this economy. And by supporting, it means make the stock market go higher typically. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get up into this 111 area today, probably by noon if we're going to do it. If not, it may kind of pill over, but I think that's a valid target today. At this point, you're already over 1-to-1, probably 1.5 to 1. Actually, almost 2-to-1 at this point. So again, something to think about, right? S&P. All right, so S&P, we were talking about being here, right, in this little level. We had this level that we had punched through, and again, it'd been a more or less kind of a, let's see, bring it up to here. Sorry, Jim. It was a level that we had some testing off of, right? This piece right here, where this came down and based right in front of it, is typically the no-no to where they just form sellers above us. There's no reason taking this long because it's going to pop up and run into these people. So it's one of those ones that it just didn't really work out well. Based off of what happened with price action right before. Now, interestingly enough, there is a wick over wick, which happens to be in the same area as this, right? Because this is where our level was. So you can see that the area of interest still exists there, but we're going to have to move it for right now. Take this one out. Let's see. I'm trying to find a good level that we can kind of base off of today. And unfortunately, this one is all the way down here at 32.85. Let's drop it down to a 30. Yeah, we're sitting in a 4-hour zone, but that's not going to help us right now. Here's an early morning trade. Yeah, you guys can see it right there. There's an early morning trade sitting there. I don't know if anybody was awake that early, but not me. Sorry. That was about 5:30, 6 o'clock, guys. Taking that little S&P short. At this point, I think we need to wait for price to come back down. Unlike NQ, where we wanted to go up, S&P looks like it wants to come down and go a bit lower. I would say there's no clean buys in this one until we get down to 33.16. Depending on the time we hit that level, there's probably a long. I would probably wait for a bounce, have it hit, pull back up, and then come back and retest the level and go. I think that's probably the safest play in there. Right now, the best thing this morning would have been this pop down here at this 5:30 drop down again. Not a bad level, pretty clean. You're only talking about 3 points risk on that one, 4 points risk. So a nice little run to the downside. Okay. Looking at the Dow, let's see what we got in here. Dow wise, yeah, you can see we gapped right into this level. We were just sitting here and floating around. Again, this is one of the adjustments. So this is how we would have adjusted the level here. Really, there's the gap. You guys know how to play the Sunday gaps, right? Again, we're looking for buyers here. What time did this one hit? This one probably hit super early too, didn't it? 7. Right there. Okay. Probably same idea. This one needs to come down. I wouldn't be looking for buyers until we get down here to 127.9. I'm sorry. 27,496 level. Right now, we're kind of in the middle of that range. But again, this is basically the definition of the Sunday night gaps, right? Look for a gap, a pullback to it. Again, it got hammered down the first time it hit it. Again, rode along the top and gave us a second entry. So look for a confirmation bounce. Again, that confirmation bounce is, again, also the Harry Potter piece of it, right? It's a pull off that level. It is a pull back into the level. And then it is a punch higher, right? Just like that from over here. Okay. I didn't get out. Got greedy on that one. I had a quick loss of power. This is a test. This is only a test. What's up, Ross? Ross, you're back, baby. All right, so that's what we have for the Dow. Look at gold. So gold, look at that. Gold got dropped. So unfortunately, here's where we're sitting right now, right? Yesterday, we were sitting right here, right? And we talked about getting into that gold entry, right? It was literally right there yesterday, right? At this level. Here's the end result. Whoops. Right there to there. And we ended up blowing through it. Okay. This one also had an early morning gap in it. You guys can see that there was a gap sitting right there. It's probably easier on the lower time frames. Doesn't really matter. It's kind of the same idea. There. I should have updated. There you go. It's like, wait, why is that not updating? Right in that level. Right there. So again, same kind of play. I liked it on the other ones, but you could have traded it on gold. The gold trade, again, would have been from yesterday. Again, I told you guys too, make sure that you guys are out of this one before FOMC kind of kicks in, right? FOMC kicked in right here, right? And as you can see, it gives kind of a little bit of a base back again. This choppiness is FOMC. So again, we're about the profit here. I told you guys to get out right here. So you may not have gotten the full ride of this one over at 1962, but it did end up continuing to push lower. And the reason why is because again, you're not seeing the inflationary, pressures yet. And without that inflation, people aren't really driven towards gold. So, again, I think it's going to come back down. I think 1925, I'll go back up to an hour late. 1925 is a good level. At this point, I'm going to rotate this down and we're going to bring this back down here and look for a bounce off of that level. Now, just like the prior position, or in the S&P, I guess, we need to make sure that this one hits this clean. It doesn't form a base right in front of it. If it forms a base right in front of this level, this is not going to be an area that we want to kind of bounce off of. But right now, we're looking for bounces and, again, wherever it hits for a potential bounce back of about that over there. All right. And again, that comes in right here at 125. I'm sorry, 1925. Okay. Looking for silver. So silver... silver. Again, pop this one back to the downside. Now, this one, interestingly enough, did take a bounce off of this level. We had mentioned a level sitting right in here. Okay. You guys can see it did touch it and it did bounce, right? So this kicked in right there. And it ended up giving you your 1 to 3. I mean, you ended up getting the 1 to 3 out of it. And then since that time, it dropped. Now, also this morning, again, because of this gap right here, same position, right? Same position. There was your play this morning, and this one has just been hammered through to the downside. This one's been a crazy run. Again, a gap down, a pull back up, and then boom, it got hammered. Would I use this level again? Yeah, I think this level, because of the reaction, I think this level, is probably valid again. This 2690. In the larger time frame as well, we have a Harry Potter that we're looking for here with a break of 2610. So what I would do, I'm telling you, I think the easiest way to play this one right now would be to set an alert at 2690 and set an alert at 2610, right? If either of those two pops, come back and check this one out. You'd be looking for the short in either direction. I wouldn't necessarily take a long off this level. I don't think it's clean enough to take a long off of. If it does come up, oh well, great, no harm, no foul. But again, a break of 2610, or if this is able to rally back up to the 2690 range, I think either of those two would be a great way to take shorts. Okay. But again, nice setup here in the overnight. And again, that one kicked in. That was another 7 o'clocker. Another 7 o'clocker. Man. I should have been looking at silver this morning. All right, let's go to trading view. Let's pull up oil. Now, remember, there is OPEC meetings today. Give me that full featured chart. All right, so here's where we had drawn from yesterday, going into that oil inventory report. We had an initial kind of hit and kind of a pullback, and all it did was kind of stabilize in that position. Now, had you taken this one, you would have taken a loss, right? Because we were looking to short, right? It ended up just kind of punching through. So remember, there's different ways to get into trade positions. Okay, I am not right 100% of the time, and again, I don't ever claim to be. Anybody that claims to be is definitely lying to themselves because again, you don't know how to control the markets. The reason why we have different entry types is because again, you could have. Oh, look at this! Wow, I didn't even know all these things. So you could have taken this. Wow, this is too much. I'm gonna have to play with this later. Wow. Oh, never mind. There you go. So you could have taken this right here when we hit the level and taken kind of the more aggressive stance. You would have got stopped out. You could have waited for this to punch in, pull back, and hit it as far as the confirmation, right? When we talk about, these pieces, right? This, and this, right? That would have been your confirmation entry, in which case you would not have gotten into this trade. Or you could have waited for us to clear and then kind of pull back again. So, again, we're still at the same exact price. We're right around that $40 level right now. I don't think, again, as far as a trading level right now, I wouldn't necessarily use this. It's been popped high. It's been popped low. And again, we were taking off a very small area. And I mentioned yesterday, too, remember, this one got a little bit weird, right, because of this wick right here, this green wick. And I said it's kind of a strange level. Again, we're taking a shot at it. Again, if you take an aggressive entry, sorry, guys, you got stopped out. Had you waited for a confirmation entry, you didn't get stopped out. You didn't even get into the trade. So no harm, no foul at this point. We're at the same level. So I'm going to remove this level because, again, this is not something that at this point I think we need to focus on. It didn't give us the reaction that we wanted. Looking for levels now. Again, we are doing a little bit of basing right here. We do have a bit of a basing level right here. I don't know if I would trade off of this one. I just feel like, I don't know. I feel like no. I mean, yeah, it's giving us a clean base and it's messing with this piece right over here. I just feel like at this point, that's an old one. That one got stopped. Man, it's just so much movement. It's like, I don't know. I think there's probably a small level here. Okay, and the reason why is, again, we had a nice push up. Right? And a nice explosive push off of that one. I'd like to retrace on this one. I like the retrace on it. Let me see if I can. Are you hitting the button? Yeah, you're hitting the button. I'm like, why is this not working? She's leaning on the keyboard. It is there. Yeah, I wouldn't have gone down this low on this one, but I'll put this here. You guys see the wick over wick sitting right here with the test into it? That's exactly what it bounced off of. So, I think I would mark off both these levels. I think kind of if we can get down to 39.18, I think there's probably a long off that level, depending on when we hit it. I feel like this one will react to any type of news quotes that come out of OPEC today. I don't think I'm willing, me personally, I don't think I'm willing to take this one again. But again, talking about taking confirmations off levels, the level we had drawn, I probably should have gone down to the lower one, and I probably should have grabbed this. I mean, this is it's there, but I didn't want to really kind of mess with this too much. I looked at it yesterday, and I was like, But again, maybe some of you guys, you guys are definitely smarter than I am. But here is your test, right? What did I do? There. And then here, down. Oops. Anyway, you guys see what I'm talking about. It pushed down in this red candle, pulled back up, and then boom. So there was your confirmation off that level. So, it's something, like I said, I don't follow oil as much. It's one of those things that I'll look at. But I will probably not take this level again. I think if you take this level again, it's a little bit risky. I don't know if you can get another bounce off of it. I mean, I guess if we can get another, if we can get another kind of push like this, right? Maybe one more time. I don't know. Because it's pushed this deep, I don't know. I think we just wait. Yeah, we're kind of want to see how this one runs with OPEC. Like I said, I think there's a long down here at 39.18. Besides that, I just feel like we're grasping for straws more than anything else. Had you taken this one, and I hope you guys did. I like I said, I did not. I'm not going to try to claim that I did. Like, oh, I did on another account. I didn't. But there would have been your trade setup. Okay. You guys would have been out pretty quickly on that one, even with the retest. Look, punch down, pull back up, and drop to the downside. So, James, you better have made some money on that one. Maybe you too, Sean, but I didn't. Hopefully, you guys did. Again, my draw was off on that one. Again, I was messing with this. I just don't like this wick over here. All right. So, right now, guys, the only thing I have clean for oil would be coming down here and touching 39.18. OPEC could drive it down there if they talk about, lower demand. But again, typically OPEC doesn't talk about seeing lower demand because that hurts the bottom line, and that's not what they want. All right. So, with that said, guys, that's all we got today. Thursdays are, typically tend to be a little bit, faster. Again, with news being gone, you can see the price, things are starting to level out. This one's back down to 65, back down to 94, and everything is about a third of an ATR right now, right? This is about a third. This is about a third. This is about a third. So everything's stuck about a third right now. So we're in kind of that leveling out and retracing aspect right now. Yeah. And not surprising, it's right around the 10 o'clock time, so we'll see what's on smaller time frames. All right. No oil trades for you lately. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those ones, Sean. I mean, yeah, it's there. I, probably should have done it, but I was definitely not looking at that one as much as I should have. Like I said, it's with virtual schooling and everything else. I have only limited time, so I try to make the most out of it. And oil's not my first go-to, but nice trade setup. Hopefully, somebody grabbed that one. Again, nice little retest. And again, it's just a chart. Same thing I've always done. All right, so let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and do our drawing. So Marina won yesterday, right? Marina won yesterday. She was Ray, or I guess, yeah, she was Ray, right? Ray Skywalker here. She slayed the evil empire of Ernest, who had 3 tickets in. Actually, no, Ernest, you didn't put anything yesterday, but Marina won it. So if she wins today, she will get her 100 pip chips. So I'll give you guys about 1 minute. When this says 57 minutes, I will go ahead and shut it down for the day. No Debbie, no Debbie. This is like no whammy, no whammy. I'm telling you, every morning, Debbie and Marina, they call each other and say, hey, are you going to win it today? Or should I win it today? How do we make the boys mad? That's exactly what's happening. They do it every day. All right, 30 seconds to go. What else would I want to look at? Let's see. I'm going to close this. Oh, come on. Let's see. 30 seconds. $15 seconds. Here, I'll pull this in real quick, guys. For the last 7 seconds. Here, hold on. 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. All right. Let me pull something in real quick, and then we will go ahead and do the drawing. Here's that Tesla chart that we were looking at the other day. Remember somebody asked me about Tesla? So check this out. Pushed down, came back and based, and what did it do? It pulled back up to the next gap, turned around, grabbed this level, and then what did it do? It took off again, right? So again, this was a hit, base, bottom in, launch, and went right back to the full profit target. Isn't it funny how that works out? Isn't that great? So again, target down here, again, a little bit of a short day, and then boom, 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 all the way back up again. So not too shabby, right? And this one missed just by a little bit, but again, it did all kind of basing. It was in the overnight, basically, at the end of the rally. But yeah, so cool with Tesla. I saw that, and I was like, oh, let me pull that out. All right, so winner of today's drawing is Bay Street. Bay Street, I feel like you've won a couple times now. I feel like this is like 2 or 3 times. Actually, yesterday I called out your name, but today is the day that you won. Let's see. Bay Street had 1 in. So look at that. Bay Street. You know what? Let's see. Bay Street Bull. It's always nice when new people win. Let me go back to leaderboard. Let's see. Where's he at? 36th position. So let's see. I think that's on here. 36. Let's give you your 25. Oops, not 256. That would obviously jump you up. And now I can do the same thing and search. You are in 30th position. There you go. Look at this. And again, in a little bit of time, look at this. Wow. Look at this. We have Solve Ross and Bay Street all sitting right on top of each other. Look at this. There's like multiple. This is like there's like multiple battles. It's like NASCAR, right? Where there's the battle for like the top 3, but then there's the battle at like 15, like 15 to 16, like in the like the or actually I guess it's what 10 to 12. That breaking into the top 10 type thing. I feel like is where they are. You guys got some room, some room to run, but you're doing pretty well. All right. Look at this. The battle of the 3 new guys right here, all within what 10 pip chips, 12 pip chips. So. You can give me 120. I won't tell. Right. All right, guys. So with that said, I'm out of here again. Watch for news. The media will spin this today. Look at this. So remember yesterday, Britain was like, "Oh, we're suing them," or the European Union is like, "Oh my God, they're bad." Rah, 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 rah. Look at it today. Hey, we're still hopeful we can come up with a trade deal, even though we're going to sue them and yada yada yada. We're still hopeful. And remember, they have till the 15th. They have a month to go. This is why politics is such, just such garbage, right? It's so bad. It's like, we can come up with a trade deal in 2 or 3 days, but we have a month to go. So let's talk about it a whole lot and make the price move all over the place, even though, we have a month to come up to something. Like they can do it in 2 or 3 days if they really want. I love this stuff. The way that they play with people is just unbelievable. So, all right, guys, I'm out of here. I will catch you tomorrow morning from 9 to 10 tomorrow morning, and hopefully everybody has a good trading day. Like I said, a couple of setups today. We need some definitely alerts to help us in our favor today. Again, I think there was 2 or 3, not counting the overnight ones with gold, S&P, silver, and the euro pound. There was about 125 pips off the levels we had yesterday. So hopefully you guys are making some money by attending chart schools, or at least getting new information every day for you. So with that said, I'm out. I will catch you guys tomorrow. If you need anything, message me on Discord. You guys take care.